Okej.
3, 2, 1. I would like to speak about a recent event that took place in my home country, Poland. When I first learned about some massive protests against plant regulation change, I thought it could make an interesting topic for presentation. I find this particularly important as these days many issues are around gender equality. One of the goals set for sustainable future for all mankind is about eradicating all kinds of inequalities, gender included. On the 3rd of October 2016, tens of thousands of people left work and classes to protest against the proposed changes to law, which, if enacted, would impose a blanket ban on abortion, including in instances of pregnancy as a result of rape or incest. About 30,000 people, many dressed in black, gathered in wretched weather in Warsaw Castle Square, chanting, "We want doctors, not missioners," and carrying placards bearing messages such as "My uterus, my opinion," and "Women just want to have fundamental rights." There is no free contraception, and regulations are being made to make it more and more difficult. Abortion is illegal, but on the other hand, there is no assistance to mothers with children, both ill and healthy, provided. Sometimes politicians, even when trying to work for good cause, don't have proper insight into women's situation. Therefore, they come up with legislations based on their subjective perspective of religion or other dogma they find right. It results in gender inequality. Feminine part of the society is then deprived of their basic right to decide about themselves. All these aspects had led me to even more questions about a modern woman position in the society. Therefore, my knowledge question is related to the point and goes as follows. To what extent is faith used to justify inequality in society? Regarding the black protest as a real-life situation, I have been considering two questions that have arisen. My first choice was, as you can see still is, to what extent is faith used to justify inequality in society? By this I could cover ethics, the fact of feminine part of the society forced to follow unfavorable regulations as area of knowledge, and ways of knowledge of emotions and faith as both drivers for decisions that ought to be made objectively. The other one was about if we can say that we're really free to decide about ourselves while living in a modern society with a set of rules, and if so, to what extent. This subject seemed quite interesting, especially regarding ethics, but it also covered a lot of fractions, which would require a lot of time to present. There are a lot of stereotypes in the society. Moreover, women are not united with each other. Some of them are so deeply rooted in the patriarchal culture that they do not even consider changes. On the other hand, more and more men are becoming aware of the issue. Therefore, attitudes are shifting towards more equal partnerships. It is becoming more vivid while taking care of the children and sharing other domestic chores. However, these changes are not going fast. In order to start a proper family planning, quite a few obstacles must be overcome. That results in women being dependent and indecisive about their own life choices. As mentioned, you need to make an appointment with doctor in order to get a prescription for hormonal contraception. What is more, even when already during doctor's appointment, it is not necessarily true that the visit would be successful. In some parts of the world, like Portugal, Mexico, or the Philippines, there is something called conscience clause, which enables doctors and pharmacists to decline a request for contraception due to their religious beliefs. That results in many unwanted pregnancies. and mental issues like depression. In the worst case scenario, women deprived of contraception access while experiencing unwanted pregnancies join a phenomenon called abortion tourism. They simply go to a different country where the law around family planning is not so strict and have abortions done there. Nevertheless, there are still people out there who are born for their jobs, like noble and protective police officers and caring doctors. Even surrounded by unfavorable legislation, encountering with such positive characters enables a woman to regain trust in people and the world around. Most people in the government of the country where black protests broke out and who make decisions are Catholic men. That means that sometimes the decisions are made not 100% objective, especially these ones about family planning. The decision-making process is then made on the basis of faith and dogmas which influence the whole society. Sometimes politicians do not follow the reasons or any other ways of knowing. They are fixed on their beliefs. That drives the decision making in the whole society. There is a small fraction of females that are active in the government. However, it does not mean women are silent. They are working together to bring a public eye onto the issue. And there are plenty of NGOs working on the improvement of women's rights. Yet there is a lot to be done still in the area. As shown before, I would like to highlight the importance of ways of making legitimate decisions that involve the whole society while being driven by emotions or subjective beliefs. It is very difficult to meet the demands of a wide spectrum of people, but the common well-being and democratic values of equality should always be considered. The European Convention on Human Rights aimed for protection of fundamental freedoms and achieve a greater international recognition of equal rights of men and women and to incorporate the values of civil liberty. One of the points treats about the right to respect for private and family life. Therefore, the event that occurred last year in Poland was a response to the injustice. Such a great gathering of people from all sectors and society layers have shown the solidarity and awareness. And as people are being more educated, their perspective is beginning to change. There is also a lot to be done while bringing children up, so they do not copy bad patterns of behavior. Boys should learn that girls are not a different species designed to do other, less demanding things. Women should demand that their partners are participating in the hard work. There is nothing bad in partnership, just the opposite. It brings more value and additional depth into family life. What is more, the situation of people getting together and fighting for common good proved that society is aware of the issue. There are many to support women on the journey towards equality. Of course, there are potential flaws in the line of argumentation that I presented. It is not the case for every woman to earn less than a man, to be locked up in the kitchen and to focus on the housework or encounter gender inequality. What is more, not every man feels and acts superior towards the other sex. Nevertheless, such people with open minds and resources to change the political situation and therefore society background are still scarce. Too scarce, one may claim. Thank you for listening.
Mamy 9 minut.
No i great, super. Najwyżej wiesz, no jak bardzo